Hey, how's it going, everyone? This is YLAM here. So, this is the last Friday before Thanksgiving. This is definitely the shopping season. So, what I want to concentrate on today is where I'd like to buy my used camera gear because on this channel, I'm really a big proponent of buying used gear because there's so much of it out there and so much of it is really high quality. You can definitely save a lot of money. And with the current camera technology that we currently have, you can definitely do some amazing things, whether it's on photography or videography. Pretty much any of the major brands within the last two generations can really do anything that you really wanted to do. There may be a few hiccups, but you can definitely work around those. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what I look for when I start looking for used camera gear, especially around this season. So one of my favorite places that I like to buy used camera gear is a place called mpb.com. There's definitely a lot of good used websites out there. I just prefer this one and I can show you why, but one of the things that you do want to look for is a good return policy. So that's where you want to start off with if you're planning to buy used gear. So if you don't like the condition of the used product for whatever reason, they'll allow you to return it and you can try something else or you can go to another site. But I've never had an issue with mpb.com, and I really like the site for a couple of reasons. Number one, right here, I'm looking at the XH1 cameras, and I really like the fact that it's really simply laid out and it tells me what I can actually see. For instance, this one right here, it's in new condition. I get the original packaging, which is something that I always look for when I actually want to buy a camera. I want to see the original packaging because I know if I buy that camera, it comes with the original packaging. When I go sell it on eBay, it's going to be easier to sell because people like me like to see the original packaging. So I really like that part about it. When you actually click into the website, it actually shows you real pictures of the actual camera itself. This is something that I always look for. There's a lot of used gear websites where they only show you a generic picture, and I never really like that. I always like a website where it actually shows me the real product. None of us likes to buy used gear based off of a generic picture. One of the things that I always look for when I actually buy a used camera body, I want to see if this rubber grommet down here is actually a part of the camera because it can be easily lost. If I actually see it there, it's kind of a sign that I know that the person that sold this camera was actually taking good care of this camera body. So this is a good indication that this was well taken care of. I look at the edges of the camera body to see if I see any bumps and scrapes. Again, these are kind of the small indicators that I will look for to see if this camera was well maintained. Now, I think MPB actually does a really good job of rating their condition. So when it says like new, I do trust that it is going to be in like new condition, but I do like to verify, and having the actual pictures is just something that's really awesome. Plus, their prices are almost always very competitive and their shipping has always been very fast. So I really don't have any complaints when it comes to shopping on this website. Now, very quickly, I do want to say this is one of my primary websites that I do buy used gear from. It doesn't mean this is the only one. I just want to show you things that I look for when I actually use one of these websites. Pretty muchly, I have like 3 or 4 websites that I always monitor to see what I can get the best deals on. And these are websites that I've been buying for years now, so I really trust them. There are people that I actually talk to on some of these websites so that I can actually get a little bit more information. But honestly, lately in the last couple of years, I really have been doing less of that. But what I'm trying to tell you here is that it's always good to ask questions. Just don't overstay your welcome. If you're actually going to be intent on buying the gear, then ask the question. If you're actually not sure if you're going to buy the gear and you're just really browsing, don't waste your time sending in questions knowing that you're really not going to buy that gear. Now, one of the questions that I get asked most often is whether or not I buy equipment from eBay, and the answer is I do occasionally if I find a really good deal, but in general I don't like to buy off eBay because it can be a little bit risky. In the many years that I've been buying off of eBay, I've never really had any issues. Sure, there are a few products that had more scuffs or the condition wasn't what I was expecting, but it wasn't really too far off the mark. What I use eBay most is when I actually want to sell camera gear. What I find is that I like buying from these used gear websites, but when it comes time for me to actually sell gear, I almost always go to eBay because almost every time I get more money back selling on eBay than I do with a used gear website. So that's just how it is. Now, if I am shopping on eBay, there are a couple of things that I am looking for. Number one, when I look at these pictures, I am looking for the original packaging like I would on any other website. That just shows me that the user is thinking ahead in the future and he knows he's going to be selling that camera. And what it generally tells me is this person is going to take better care of his equipment because he's going to want to sell it off. Now, if I'm looking at a product that doesn't have the original packaging, then I'm going to be much more stringent on price. In other words, I really want the most bang for my buck, so I'm looking for the cheapest deal if I'm just looking for a camera body that doesn't come with the original accessory, especially the box, because when it comes time for me to sell it, it's going to hit my bottom line when I actually go around and sell that gear as well. Now, for this example, if I were to click in here and say I actually like this price, one of the things that I always look for is I go into his reviews, and what I'm looking for here is that he's actually sold some camera gear within the past 6 months, because it shows that he's an active user. So say for this one, he actually just sold a 100 to 400 Fujifilm lens, and he actually accepted an offer that was lower than his initial price. This is something that I definitely look forward to, because if nobody's actually bidding on this particular item, I would actually go ahead and put in an offer. So say for this one, I might put in for something like $810. It could save me potentially 20 bucks. Or you could try to lowball people, but I generally don't tend to try to do that because I hate being lowballed myself. So I don't really practice something that I wouldn't want to be done to myself. But these are the kind of things that I do when I shop on eBay. I definitely am a little bit more cautious and a little bit more worried about buying off of eBay, because most return policies, like you see right here, seller does not accept returns. So you really want to make sure you want this product before you actually put in an offer. This is actually a really good deal because it actually comes with a battery grip and it also comes with the AC power. So this is a good full feature for $850. And as we saw back here, this one only has the camera body. It's in like new condition. It does have the original packaging, but that battery grip is probably another $150 worth of value right there. So, you know, buying off of eBay definitely has a lot of pros to it. You just got to be a little bit more careful because your return policies generally aren't in your favor. So that is a quick rundown of what I look for when I'm buying used camera gear. If you have things that you look for, definitely leave it in the comments below for the other community members, because it's always good to share tips when buying used gear. Please let me know what you think. I hope you're safe out there. Hope you have a great holiday, and I'll see you in the next video.